Okay, thank you for tuning in. This is Sharonda, and this is my Spiritual Sense podcast as well as webinar. And so give me just one moment. Now, with this particular podcast as well as webinar, I go over a variety of paranormal, pagan religions, and belief systems. Um, you know, whatever topics that you would like to discuss in terms of dealing with the spirit or the paranormal. I have some tarot card reading that I do. If you are someone that may be battling demonic presences, I speak on topics such as that, angels, demons, out of body experiences, near death experiences, things of that nature. You're more than welcome to send me a comment or comment below, and we could get a dialogue discussion going via Zoom. That's my preference that I use now. Skype, somehow I'm not able to record on my Skype, so currently I am using Zoom. And so I'm not recording this live because I don't have too many listeners that I'm aware of that are maybe listening in or even viewing in. But and I don't have a specific time that I, choose to record. I try to shoot for midday, but sometimes, time doesn't warrant that. So okay, so let me proceed. So for those who are new to the channel or may, it may come across the feed and you may be inquiring, I do have a healthcare background. I'm a licensed practical nurse, been licensed since 2003. Prior to that, I was a certified nursing assistant for roughly 2.5, maybe 3 years. And right now I am a licensed insurance agent. So that's a new venture for me. I am aspiring to get my diploma in accounting. Also, I am aspiring to finish up my certificate in medical coding. And also, I'm in pursuit of getting my associates in healthcare management. Okay. Now, I am also looking to incorporate some more spiritual things into my, portfolio. My life's journeys portfolio is what I would like to call it, where I can get off into Reiki healing and healing of the body. I also like to state that I do have other podcasts that may be of interest to you. If this just so happened to not be a podcast that you would, find to be something that you would like to, listen to or even view in. I have holistic health where I go over the different 7 chakras. I have meditation musics on there that you may be fond of to listen to help with balancing your chakra. I go over some information in regards to crystal stones that may be helpful and beneficial. I discuss things such as acupuncture. I don't think I have any information on Reiki healing, but I do think that will be a topic that I will discuss and put in a presentation tonight on my holistic health. I have things such as herbs, teas, tonics that may be beneficial for minor health concerns. Old wives type of natural remedies that may be beneficial to you as well. So I go over different herbs and things of that nature, practices in terms of yoga. If you're someone that, may be interested into yoga and things of that nature. So that's my holistic health podcast. I also have the Health Matters podcast where I go over different, ailments and chronic care conditions that you may be suffering or your family members may be suffering from. And I pull information off of a variety of websites and I just go over that as well. Also, I have the Talk Radio podcast, which I haven't recorded with that, and I will be getting everything put into place for that, where I have a, layout of topics in reference to business and finance, health and fitness, current events, as well as things that may be occurring around the community. And so that's my Talk Radio podcast. Okay. So and this podcast here is, again, it's the spiritual sense. And let me proceed with my daily reading for today. So typically when I do my daily reading, I don't know what I am doing the reading on. But it's just whatever the spirit that visits. And I am visited by spirits. Like when you begin to get off into spirit and spirituality, you would know the difference between, like, if this is applicable or someone is in agreement with whatever the case may be, versus if a spirit steps in. And when I say when a spirit steps in, that means that it's somebody that who has transitioned over, that this reading may be applicable to. Okay, so let me proceed. Father, supreme being of all being, I don't know what this reading is about, but I do feel like it is a spiritually led reading. I was prompted after I did a reading on yesterday, to just do another reading, but I decided, okay, I will just wait. So whatever spirit that is trying to visit, if there's a message that needs to be conveyed, we can convey that in this message now, okay? So please give me wisdom, guidance, understanding, and knowledge in regards to this reading, and I will proceed. But I do feel as though this is a spiritually guided reading. I do. So let me proceed to pull my cards. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so bear with me just a moment. I'm going to take all the rest of the cards and proceed to get them put up out of the way while I go ahead and get these cards here read. Okay, so 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so I feel like this reading, as I mentioned, a spiritually led reading, like it's a message that needs to be conveyed in regards to this reading that I'm doing today. Okay. So I have card 1 to be 3 of Swords. It says deception, frustration, jealousy, broken heart. What crosses over this reading, which is a barrier or a hindrance, in regards to this reading, I have the Hangman, getting stronger in oneself after a lot of deliberating and delaying in your life. What you're trying to get to, card 3, what are you trying to attain? The Chariot card, movement of residence, journey, victory over a situation or problem, balancing the opposite polarities. 4, card 4, we have 3 of Wands, travel over land, surveying your kingdom. Card 5, we have 9 of Swords, fears and frustration, letting go of emotions. And I have, for card 6, I have the Tower, catastrophe, accident, things happening very quickly at lightning pace. So right now I feel as though this reading is in regards to a lot of people right now who are who's brokenhearted. Like a lot of people who are feeling trapped. Like I feel like I'm speaking to this reading is in regards to people who feel trapped right now. Like somehow they feel as though they're trapped in their situation and then there's a desire to leave, like to get out and move right now. Um I showed that this is something that is coming from I have the Chariot card. When I get the Chariot card, oftentimes that is in relation to two, or but I feel as though this is something that is coming from um a lot of men and women right now. So it's two in the group. I can't pinpoint it to no specific group. I feel like it's gender specific or gender related. That means this is the goose as well as the gander, so to speak. Right now, I feel as though a lot of the people are feeling burdened, are feeling brokenhearted right now, and there is um, they're wanting to leave, like they're wanting to move forward, they're wanting to leave right now. So I have the attitude. It says speedy news or situation common, arrows of love. So I feel as though these people are in fear of the persons that they are in the relationships with right now. Like I feel as though a lot of these people, and it's a group of them, I feel like it's coming from the men as well as the women. Like they're not trusting of their counterparts or their significant others, I should say. Like I am afraid of him, I am afraid of her, so to speak. For me gathering this reading, I feel as though this there is some sense of insecurity right now, is what I feel. Um to where they don't know where to turn because they're feeling right now, I feel as though they're feeling trapped. Like it's letting me know I feel trapped. Like I feel trapped. I don't know where to go. I don't know where to go. Like I honestly don't know where to go. Please guide me. Please help me and assist me because I don't know where to go. Card 8. I show what is surrounding this 9 of Cups. It says improvements underway, feeling smug or pleased. So I feel as though these persons are feeling like I feel as though they're feeling like something is about to happen. Like they feel like they've been bamboozled. Like, oh my God, somebody set me up, so to speak. And as I sit here, I somehow it just come into my being that I'm speaking in terms of a Hispanic population right now, or Native American population. Like I feel like I'm picking up on the Native American population, like the beginnings. Like this is we're picking up on a lot of their energies because this is what they feel at a time and a space on these lands, and this is what we are experiencing in this time and space, is what I feel. Like I'm feeling like I'm picking up on a Hispanic, Native American um, feelings. Like this is how they felt, the need to get out, the need to move. Like it's a movement, is what there was. Kind of like, I guess if I will look up, because I did visit Six Flags a couple of years ago, and it's mentioned about something that I totally, some of us forgot about in history in regards to the Trail of Tears. It says thousands of people died. The first people who were forced to move the Choctaw tribe. Many were Christians. The 5 tribes that were involved in this forced location become very much a part of daily American life. So as I pull up the Wikipedia, it says the Indian removal, where there was forced in this place and ethnic cleansings of approximately 60,000 Native Americans or 5 civilized tribes between 1830 and 1850 by the United States. The tribal members moved gradually with complete migration occurring over a period of nearly a decade. Members of this so-called 5 civilized tribes were the Cherokee, Muskogee, Seminole, Chickasaw, and Choctaw nations, including thousands of their Black slaves, were forcibly removed from their ancestral homelands in the southeastern United States to areas in the west of the Mississippi River that had been designated Indian Territory. So, this is my thinking in terms of that, because I do feel as though one thing will tell on itself. And, many people may disagree and they may get angry and the things of that nature. But with the transatlantic slave trade or slave movement, or I like to refer to it as human trafficking, to be honest with you. But, knock on wood, that's not to, offend anybody. That's just my own personal opinion. I do feel as though Native Americans were and are the Black slaves. Like they were the Native Americans, meaning they were the primary people of the lands. Now, somebody may, beg to differ, but that's what I feel. It could very well possibly be that a lot of the quote unquote Native Americans are actually a mixed race of your white Spaniards with African American or Africans that came to this land years prior to the discovery. And that's what they named them, because they was a different breed. But I do feel as though, Native Americans and African Americans essentially are one and the same, outside of those who were not part of that heritage or that lineage. Outside of the ones that are purebred or as so to speak, not refer to humans as purebred, but kind of give you an example is what I mean. Okay. But before we go from there, so I honestly feel as though I am picking up on, in this reading, I'm picking up on spirits from the past. And I think a lot of the things that we're seeing in the media is a representation of a time prior to. Because just like with the Holocaust, this is something that I've thought of as well. I feel like the Holocaust, which was the annihilation of a lot of the Jewish people, was a replay of what happened not only with the transatlantic slave trade, because there have been so many different slave trades to happen, but the transatlantic slave trade is the hallmark, quote unquote, of all the slave trades. But there have been many slave trades and traffics that have occurred since the beginning of time and still occur to this day. Okay, so saying that to say, I feel as though not to lose the point that I was making. I feel as though I'm picking up on, a time and a space is what I feel. I do. I honestly do. These are spirits. They come back in a different format. They come in and these are spirits. Simple as that. And once you have reached that point of that spiritual hiatus, that epiphany, God will make an appearance to you as to what that is. And marker comes into play. What is marker? What do you mean by mockery? He will show you what happens within a group is what happened within another. And you would know that's what that is. Okay. So card 9, we have Two of Swords. Now, again, Two of Swords is hopes, fears, and dreams. So it says peace and harmony. Needs to take the blindfold off, keep reassessing the situation at hand. So I feel as though this is what a lot of the Hispanic and Native American in this time and space, what is deemed Native American, Hispanic in this time and space are feeling now. And I'm wanting to let you know, and as I just said, that I just got a gnawing in my heart. So that lets me know that yes, that is true. That is true. I just want to let those know who may be feeling those feelings right now, that that's God letting you know that is how the African Americans, or quote, Black Americans, feel right now. This is what they're feeling right now. This is what transpired during those times. And this is how you would know when a transition is about to occur, a transformation about to occur, a transcending is about to go, when there's a transcendence or transcendence. And this is your spiritual renewing. In other words, things you once thought, now you will begin to feel what those people feel. You will begin to understand that. Why you came over here. You came over here thinking you was going to get the pie, and all of a sudden you see that you have stepped into another dimension, an realm. You have stepped into another time and space. I think that's why you have people that experience what they call culture shock, where they cannot believe it. It's like, oh my gosh, this is what this is. And I'm not saying this to be taunting you at all. No, because a lot of us are feeling this way. This is what we wanted to get out. This is what we wanted to get out. A lot of people are scratching their heads like right now. The spirits has been summoned. And once you have summoned those spirits, you're going to feel as they felt. Plain and simple. Okay. So that's what I feel right now. I feel like I'm speaking to a Hispanic population, and I'm not by far discriminating against Hispanic, Native Americans, Asian Americans, white Americans, African Americans at all. I'm not trying to prove a point. Then again, I may be trying to prove a point. But I just got a gnawing in my chest just now. A gnawing in my chest. And this lets me know that this is what this is. This is a recount and a reenactment of the Trail of Tears. You will begin to feel as these people feel. And when you begin to study and go off and do these different studies, in these in a place in time in history, you will begin to feel for what happened in that space. And that's why you would know when there's deception versus when there is a knowing, like when somebody knows when they're talking about. because once you visit those places, it's just like stepping into another dimension. And this is why a lot of people, this is why you have the the mental health hospitals or clinics around. Somebody ain't told you the secret and how life truly works. Because what you've been told is not the truth. And once it's been revealed to you, you will see why they got these landmarks as such and these places placed around as such. Okay, so we have the outcome. I keep pulling the same cards. I shuffled my cards. Actually, I scrambled my cards and I spread them out and I picked them out of sequence. And somehow they keep trailing in. The same cards keep trailing in. This is the outcome, the one with the caduceus sign that you see there. So it says, peace of mind, joining of two people. So in other words, this is why you were brought here. Again, this is why you were brought here. This is why you were allowed to come in. And I think that this is not just to this Hispanic population, but to the Caribbean and a lot of the, international groups and ethnicities who have come to this land and come to this time and space will see, okay, now the eyes has been opened, because I'm going to explain something to you. Roughly 5 years ago, after the birth of my daughter, when I had my true path, put on my true path to Nirvana, my eyes was open to see into another realm and dimension. And I don't take no drugs. I don't. And I began to see in a different time. I actually, and I know people can say, oh my gosh, maybe you just need to go get your eyes examined and checked. Nah. That's just a ploy for you to get there so revelation will be there when you get there. Okay. But anyways, so I was walking down the hall. And as I'm approaching a certain part of the hallway on a wing that I worked, I began to see in black and white a field. And it was like, oh my gosh, what are you showing me? Kind of like, I referenced this in a podcast that I did maybe 2 weeks ago when I mentioned about the ring and how you see the thing coming up out of the well, and it was in black and white. It was similar to that. I began to see in black and white, and I'm seeing like chopped wood in the woods, like I'm in the woods or something. I'm like, okay, what is this? And it became apparent to me that this is God's way of enlightening you about what he's trying to tell you about whom you are surrounded by. Okay, because he does speak to us in coding systems and things like that. If you begin to pay attention, that is how he alerts you on things. And so, and it works similar, when you're dealing with mental illness and things of that nature. Oftentimes people are not going to tell you, because typically some of them may not be able to tell you, and then the ones who are able to tell you, it's inappropriate for me to say that, because people haven't reached that far spiritually to understand it. Okay, so I am going to close out this Spreaker podcast, Spiritual Sense on the Daily Reading, okay, as well as my YouTube Spiritual Sense podcast or webinar, I should say. So if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, you're more than welcome to comment below. Please, no inappropriate questions, comments, or suggestions. Until then, you have a safe and wonderful day. Good day.